checking the sound. We're checking the sound. Check 1 2 1 2. Make sure everyone gets in here. We're gonna let this beat play out a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. Turn it up in your headphones. All right, guys. Welcome to the show. We love pumping the track, pumping the beat before we actually get this thing started. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On the channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. So we got a lot to talk about. I mean, there's some things happening in the markets, guys. There's a lot of news. There is a lot of bullish news, but also, there's some mass bearishness in the markets. Obviously, we got the stock markets dumping. We have Bitcoin's dumping right now. Ethereum is dumping a little bit. Overall, the only things that are doing good right now are speculative memes. That is what is the only thing right now is like speculative memes that are actually doing any movements on the charts right now. And so this is would traditionally is like when we see like like when we've had the top signal and when we were starting to go down to the bottom. But I'm not going to say that it's not the top in this bull cycle. We are getting into this interesting phase where we have the most bearish stuff happening, FUD, attacks on NFTs, lawsuits from the SEC. We have the Fed's rate cuts still possibly being a bearish lead up ultimately to then get the lowest prices we could possibly get in the crypto markets, and then liquidity just starts to come in like a freight train, and then the markets start to run. This happens in these points in the 6 month, 7 month period of where we're going through the bull run, and it's always after the halving. So you have to count from the halving, guys, and we're going to analyze this. We're going to correlate it with some news that is breaking in the markets and try and piece it all together into a narrative that might help you guys still stay bullish even though we have some bearish downturns. There's a possibility that we might even go to $50,000 here in the short term, and I'm here to tell you that you can't let that make you bearish for the long term, because ultimately Bitcoin is going to be over $100,000, and we're going to hit that banana zone, and that is where we're headed, guys. But we're going to still keep you in tune with the markets with these short-term bearish price actions. So let's look and see right now what's happening with Bitcoin. I seem to have lost my trading view chart, but let's see if we can find. Let's just go into this chart right here. So we'll go into this chart. I hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Stay tuned, because we're going to bring you a lot of information. And so if you stay through to the entire stream to the very end, you'll get a nice broad spectrum of analysis on what news has been breaking, also what coins have been moving, what has been the strongest narratives to play in, and also what to keep your radar on in crypto. So welcome, guys, and shout out to all the people that have been coming in normally. We got Hassan Lewis, we got Anis, I hope I'm saying that right. We got Nagu. Make sure you guys are making yourselves known in the chat. It always gets me more excited and more bullish when we have people that are interacting in the chat, asking questions, and just keeping the show going. And so without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So all right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to analyze the markets here. So basically, Bitcoin has dropped below these moving averages, basically dropped below that 200-day moving average, and also dropped and started sliding below the 20 SMAs that are inside the Bollinger Bands. And so we were talking about this particular range that we could start trading back into, which is basically sitting at that point of control, this 58,000, 59,000, and between 51,000. So basically, what is happening now is we're fighting this level, and I need to get my trading view chart up. So hold on, guys. Let me get the trading view chart up because it just shows it a lot better. I wanted to just pull that one up really fast, but let's see, where does it? All right. I don't know how I ended up closing that, but let me get the trading view chart up really quick. My which position, because I had a short position and I had a long position. My short position, I was a scalp. That was just like a scalp, and so I should have kept it as a swing long, or as a swing short, because now it actually was pretty validated of what point I went into the short. And with the market being so volatile, I was thinking that might have been the bounce level. So I ended up closing the short, and I ended up going into a long. And then and this long, because of the volatility, it got stopped out. So we are in no position now. So we're trying to figure out, like, where's the market gonna go? How, if we break these levels, we're watching these levels. So we're gonna pull the chart up right now. Hold on just a second. Let's see here. This is the Coinbase chart, not the Coinbase chart. We don't want the Coinbase chart. We want the Bitstamp chart. There we go. Okay. All right. So this chart is going to show you exactly what has been happening here. So we are respecting the range between 56,008 and 54,000. So we are now, like I said, if you were watching my videos recently, basically yesterday I said, look guys, if we start to get into this range and we break below 54,000, I said it's in the cards for us to start going to now the obvious support levels, which were at 51,000. So this is what I'm looking at for the short-term bearish price action, because you can see that the money flow is just not there. Money flow is not there. And we, let me see did I have this collapse? Okay. Also, the RSI the SMI here could go lower. We could still see it drop down and touch some of these levels that we were at previously, because you got to think, when we hit this low, look at where the RSI was. Okay. And now you can see that we could indeed, because we are so close to this price, we could swoop even lower and create a bullish divergence from here going to the upside. But we just, oh man, it's just like, where's the stopping point? But I think the stopping point for me, if I'm just going to analyze this chart and just look at where we wicked from last time, this could be the play. This could be the play. This could be the stopping point, because it hits right on this trend line, guys. So if you look at this trend line, the trend's your friend in this instance, as long as we can hold 51, because I think we're going to 51. That's where I think we're going. I think we're going to 51,000. We could even go to 48 or 49. If we can't hold this level right here, if we can't hold this level, I'm setting an alert on this one. And basically, oh man, I already have. Oh, what? I guess I didn't pay my trading view bill. Dang. Okay, so yeah, basically, we don't hold this level. We are going lower. We're going lower, and the obvious stop point from there is 42K, because that was the last support level from the run up here, which is right here. This would make any normal person like just shake in their pants. It really would. Because think of all this action that we've had up here, all these opportunities where we probably should have been taking more profits and thinking and not thinking that we're just going to keep going to into the clouds and into the moon and into space and into the next galaxy, and think, wait a second, we're not even we're only just like a month after the halving. What the hell are we thinking? So this is where you're going to get some nugget sauce here, guys. Okay, this is what is happening. We like pumped so hard into the halving. We broke an all-time high before a halving. That's never happened before. That has never happened before in the history of Bitcoin. It's never happened before. And so that right there should have probably been the key metric of us maybe wanting to take a little bit more profits at those points, because if you study how the other halvings have been, we've had price consolidation to the downside and retracements before we start going and doing parabolic moves again. So These areas right here were, and I'll mark them, these areas right here were just like golden opportunities for taking profits, taking a little bit of profits in alts, taking a little bit of profits out of the craziness, especially if you were buying at prices, down here, if you're buying altcoins and in just the longest bear market. Like I'll use Dogecoin, for example. Like I'll use Dogecoin because I got the ranges marked here. So, I mean, imagine, you're just like, we're scooping up all of these things all during the bear market. And then right when Bitcoin started to get into those ranges, this is where most altcoins went. This is where most altcoins went. Even the crappy ones, even the ones that people don't even care about, went up. And so you can imagine what happened to the ones that people actually care about and actually want to trade. And you can see it by now when we're even having these bearish kind of sentiment across the board. We actually want to duplicate because we want to save that. Because we got a lot to cover here, guys. We got a lot of news that's breaking in the markets, but we're kind of just going into the Bitcoin analysis first. I know it's kind of a little backwards, and we got a little thing here. We got some we're going to cover the bullish news. We're going to cover Bitcoin analysis. We're going to go into ETH as well. Then we're going to go into DeFi and what we think are the best memes. So hope you guys are following me. And we're gonna keep going. Okay, so basically, how you're gonna see just an easy thing: go to CoinMarketCap, hit the 24-hour volume, and look at this. This is so interesting. Obviously, we know BNB trades well. We know in terms of 24-hour volume, Solana has been doing great. Even XRP has been doing well in terms of trading volume. But we're going to get into this because there's some interesting news that broke with XRP that we're going to get into. So look at this: Dogecoin, Dogs, and look, Pepe. And then we're going to mention Toncoin as well because we have some really bullish news with the CEO of Telegram, Pavel Durov. He has a message that we're going to read that has a lot to do with the current state of censorship, free speech, big tech companies, people that are creating any kind of innovative technology is going to be under this same microscope that Pavel is currently under. So people like Elon, people are saying, hey, Elon, we need to make sure that we protect Elon because, and then we have a funny video from Tucker. Shout out to Tucker Carlson. The content for that project is almost unmatched. And so we have a funny video that we're going to play later in the stream. We got a lot to talk about, guys. It's almost like we get a little ADD because there is, regardless of the things that are happening, that might be, quote, boring in the markets, there's a lot to talk about. There actually is a lot to talk about because there's so much happening and push against this inevitable run to the upside. But I think the powers that be are trying to just kind of slow that process down a little bit before we end up going into the election. And then we're probably just going to have this inevitable run up into the election because people are just going to be like, well, if we can't make money after the election, we might as well try and make money now. And then boom, that's when. And you like that? You like that thought process? Because that's what people are going to think. They go, damn, okay, so if the election plays out however it's going to play out, it's going to do something, and either it's going to crash or go down. And so I think people with the gambling type of mindset or betting risk, they're thinking, okay, I got to do something. I got to make a move. I got to make a move before I can't make a move at all. So the point that we're going to try and make here, why we even went to the 24-hour trading volume, is that look at what's in the trading volume for the past 24 hours and the top projects. Tron, Dog with Hat, Litecoin, Ton, Pepe, Dogecoin, Solana. Obviously Bitcoin, but it's so interesting. It's almost like you could build the easiest, tiniest portfolio in the world of only a few coins. You could literally just buy Tron, Litecoin, Ton, Pepe, Dogecoin, throw some Solana in there, BNB, and then Bitcoin and Ethereum. easy portfolio. You just go, okay, what is trading the highest in terms of all centralized exchanges and DeFi and all of that beautiful stuff, and see what is actually performing well. And then that's just, there you go. I mean, you don't have to make it so damn complicated. It could be very easy. But all right, so let's kind of go down the list of tweets that we wanted to show you guys, and then we'll get into some more price action. And I hope you guys are around for the end of the show, because we are going to kind of cover some different topics. We're going to go through each thing, and hopefully you guys get an opportunity to talk about it, and you can give me your thoughts about what we're going to cover. So this is interesting. I find it still fascinating that people don't know what the price of Bitcoin is. They act like they've never heard of it or something, and it's literally been on this planet for 15 years. It's not like, I mean, some of these people I feel like have been under a freaking rock. It took me a little bit to actually finally pay attention to it. I'm not going to lie, because it's like, that's like kind of how everyone is with it. They see it, and then they go, oh, okay, yeah. And then they literally don't pay attention to it for 5-10 years. And then all of a sudden they're like, son of a gun. I remember seeing a particular guy on Joe Rogan's podcast in like 2011, something like that. It was like 2010 or 2011. So this is like 4 years after the creation of Bitcoin. And I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. And then just completely ignored it until COVID happened. When you were at your most desperate time, and when you're at the craziest time in the world, and then you're like, oh yeah, now let me start paying attention to Bitcoin. It's like, duh. So I get it, but this is funny. I actually want to do this. I want to go out in my town and just start asking a bunch of random people what they think the price of Bitcoin is, or if they would take $10 right now, or $100 right now, or one Bitcoin, and then just see what they would say. I'd be like, oh, I'll take the 100.
What is the price of Bitcoin? You know Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency?
0.47.
What? Ladies, quick question for £10. What is the price of Bitcoin right now?
No idea.
What is the price of Bitcoin?
What is the price of Bitcoin? What is it? What the price is for one Bitcoin?
Yeah.
0?
For £10, what is the price of Bitcoin right now?
Maybe.
No. You have to tell me what the price is of Bitcoin. You know Bitcoin? You don't know. For £10, what is the price of Bitcoin right now?
I have no idea.
You want to guess?
I don't know, 2,000, 200?
What if I said 60,000? Yeah. It's time to get into crypto. In the biggest bubble. I forget. And then you go to people and you ask them how much Bitcoin is, and they say 0.02, and it's like, I wish. But
And I always say that same thing. I forget how much of a bubble I am in, and I feel like I'm like preaching to the choir right now. But I feel like you guys might feel the same way, where you're like, "What? Like, how do you not know about this stuff? Why are you not? What? Come on, this is crazy." All right, so this is probably how everyone is feeling right now.
Damn it!
Oh, damn it. I thought Bitcoin was going to go up. I thought it was going to go up. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so check this out, though, but we still want to be bullish, because MasterCard launches a crypto debit card in Europe. This means that users can spend from their self-custodial wallets at 100 million different merchants. Now, this is absolutely bullish. Now, I want to get your thoughts on this, guys. Like, what do you think about this? Do you like that MasterCard and Visa are back end super bullish, trying to make sure that their infrastructure survives in these markets in the next 5-10 years? Yes, I think that's super bullish. I think you should be mega bullish on that. And I just think it's the next step forward, and it's also kind of the bullish catalyst of how I think what's going to happen is that the banks are actually going to end up pivoting and becoming crypto custodians themselves. That's going to be wild. And I know you're thinking, how is that going to happen? Because isn't like crypto versus banks and banks versus crypto? Isn't this just like they're a battle? Well, Not necessarily. Once you start to learn about liquidity and where the liquidity is going around bonds and treasury bonds and all that stuff and all the different debt and all this, like what our federal, fiat system has created in controlling the banks and the inflow of how much money they can borrow, all this stuff. Guess what? Now there's liquidity on chain that banks might end up starting to figure out about and have it be basically their back-end infrastructure of how they can have crypto off and on ramps for themselves and also for their customers, creating competition between even maybe credit unions that would imagine if a credit union in your local town says, we will hold your Bitcoin and we'll insure it. It would be wild, but it's possible. I think it might be possible. All right, so then going into the next 4 years, if Trump is elected as president, Elon is going to be appointed as the Government Efficiency Commission. Trump to adopt Elon Musk's proposal for a Government Efficiency Commission, which basically means it's just like they're going to comb over our government and eliminate potential risks of fraud and scam artists in our government, because there's 100% are scam artists in our government, just like there's scammers in crypto, just like there's scammers anywhere there is money to be made. There is a scammer in there getting paid. And because if you want to ask about that's who they is. It's the people that are literally scamming people out of money in our government. And that's why they are trying to take down Elon and try and take down people that are fighting for this and fighting for free speech, for the First Amendment, Second Amendment, all the amendments, like our right to hold land, our right to our speech, and our right to our code, to write code, to make programs. Like, all of this stuff is very important. So, like, this is how, and then we're going to caveat this into why it was such an outrage for Pavlov to be arrested in France, because of the way that they did this and the way that they baited him into being arrested and paying a fine. And it just shows exactly how the system tries to basically use fear of a jail cell to bend you to their will. And that's like, it's basically as easy as that. Jail cell or do what we say. Iron bars or do what we say. It's pretty apparent at this point. Pay the tax or we're going to put you in jail. I sound like Andrew Tate right now. Pay the tax or we'll put you in jail. That's my best Andrew Tate. But it's true. It's so freaking true, man. And so this is the powers that be do not like this, and the powers that be, aka people that are going against crypto at choke point levels, guess what? Those people that are choking the crypto innovation in America, guess what? If Elon was part of a government efficiency commission, bye-bye. Those people are gone. They have no opportunity now to siphon money that is basically our money. It's our money that we're giving to the government body to then be the good custodians of it and make shit happen in the right way. But that's not what's happening. And so they gaslight everyone with all of these wars, all of these social issues, all of these things to make you think you're racist, to then distract you from the fact that they're stealing money from you every single day. It is 100% what is happening. So you cannot get distracted by this. And this is why it is so important that X exists. It's not being banned in Brazil. It's absolutely crazy that they are. And to speak of that, Nathan Roth, my wife has this great theory. She's like, you know what? Because my wife works in corporate, and so she experiences like the corporate BS. She it's just like it's crazy. So this is what her theory is, she's like, look, all these people that have really great degrees, great experience, they're like either from tech or they're going in the medical field, they can't get a job. They can't get a job. These companies are actually probably not hiring for these positions that the quote market says that there's these jobs available. It's a lie. I think it's a sham. I think there isn't jobs available. I think companies are laying off people more than expected, more than people realize. Companies are laying off people that they literally can just use AI to do certain tasks, and thousands of people are losing their jobs. And we want to sit around and act like that's not happening, but it really is. So there's going to be thousands and thousands of people that are losing their jobs. And what's interesting is that Crypto Kid actually made a good observation on the Moon Show, saying that most of the jobs that people picked up weren't even full-time jobs that pay anything like benefits or any packages. They're part-time jobs. And that's 100% true, because guess what? Everyone's having to pick up 7 to 5 different part-time jobs to survive on inflation. Bunch of a-holes. So this is how the data is being skewed, and it's not sustainable. So this is why they have to cut rates. The market is dumping by these reports and by the lead up to the rate cuts that are going to happen this month. And then guess what? Now then the money is cheaper. Then the debt gets more. They print more money because it's the only way that they can survive. And then the market pumps. Then the market pumps. So right now is the part where you have to stay in and not get fooled by the falsivity of the numbers that the system's trying to give you. Guess what? The system's rigged, so the numbers are rigged. They're not going to be truthful. So you know what number isn't rigged that you can look at on a daily chart that is trading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that you can look at from previous data? It's Bitcoin. That's how you can look at what's really happening in the markets. That's what's interesting. I've now figured this out. If you watch Bitcoin, this is it's just like watching the trend of the trend of literally the world. Now that Bitcoin is a part of a world system, that the world, it doesn't even matter who you are, as long as you have a device and internet, you can participate in Bitcoin. So this is why Bitcoin is so interesting. It just blows my mind every single day that I start to, when I think about it and I talk about it, because once you understand Bitcoin, you understand that Bitcoin is the representation of what is happening right now in the world. Bitcoin is the representation of wealth, of what is happening. So when Bitcoin is at $1 million per coin, it will be a direct representation of how things are in real life, in the world. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Maybe I've drank too much coffee, or maybe I'm starting to really understand why Bitcoin exists to begin with. And so you have to think, like, there's nothing else better. There's nothing else better than Bitcoin to hedge against what is happening. It's fascinating. And so so this is kind of what's happening across the board. Right now across the board, we got corporate leaders endorsing Kamala Harris for president. And it's hilarious because I'm like, so you want to get capital gains taxed, unrealized capital gains tax by 25%? There's no way. There's no way that these corporations want to short sell their stocks for an unrealized 25% capital gains tax. So something's not right. Something doesn't add up. Something doesn't add up when I see this. It doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up. Why? Ask yourself this. Okay, so increased Russian activity near undersea cables. Now this, I don't know what's going on with this, but United States has detected increased Russian military activity around key undersea cables and believes Russia may now be more likely to carry out potential sabotage operations aimed at disabling a critical piece of the world's communications infrastructure. Now, this has been a mass conspiracy that leading up into the election, they're going to try and sabotage the election by like turning off the internet. I've heard this before. I've thought about this myself. And I was like, whoa, that would be wild. Because I was like, what could they pull this time? They always try and pull something. They try and pull something. The system always tries to do something. What are they going to pull? What are they going to pull this time? Last time it was COVID. That one was one that we were like, holy crap. There was very few people that saw that coming, and everyone got blindsided. And so it's kind of crazy. And yeah, so Nathan Roth said it's still first quarter of a 4-quarter game. And yeah, I would say we're probably in like the second or third quarter, and fourth quarter is quarter one of 2025. That's when we're going to kind of see like I think that's when we're going to see the peak of the bull run, because we're going to get a retracement. We're going to go into a little bit of a bear market, but I believe it's going to be a little shorter. But I think the bear market leading up into 2030 are going to be shorter and shorter, because I think leading up to 2030 is crazy. It's just going to be a really, really interesting time on this planet. And I don't know if we're ready for it. But maybe, just maybe, if you're DCAing into crypto and you're understanding this ecosystem, you have so much more of a percentage ratio and chance to thrive. I'm going to use my language properly. To thrive and triumph in the years to come. When you get your money right, you just study this. You study why this man is on Team Bitcoin, what his company did, and how successful and why he is a Bitcoin hero and so popular is because that dude had conviction and played the strategy and executed, and it worked. And it worked. What else has been able to do that at that magnitude in a span of 4 years? No, nothing else. Nothing else. Please, I'll wait. Name one thing that has had that growth of a strategy and a plan, like MicroStrategy's plan on Bitcoin, and please give me an example of something that has done something that substantial. It's not very many things in this last 4 years. I mean, it was a mega play. Mega play. And so this is why I know Carl Runefeldt's been bullish. He's super bullish, but he posted this. Fidelity, managing 4.9 trillion, predicts that the price of one Bitcoin could reach $1 billion by 2038. So going past 2030, if you're one of the lucky ones that was able to acquire at least one Bitcoin before we started to get out of this planet of price, then you are putting yourself in the upper echelon of freedom. Honestly, freedom. Like liquid freedom. It's literally like liquid freedom at this point if we're getting into prices like that. And you even have a quarter of it. You even have a quarter or a half. I mean, this is why some people say that if you could own 0.001 Bitcoin today and hold it till you plan to retire, say in 20 years, you are hedging on the best possible thing on the planet. Man, we got super bullish on Bitcoin, even with the price being bearish. See, this is how you have to be. You have to be super bullish when everyone is saying that it's going to zero and there's blood in the streets and things are crashing. This is when you have to become the most bullish, because you will not get shaken out. I've learned this now over time. I've let the market change my sentiment. I've let the market and bearish influencers or whatever, or like the noise around, I have been victim and have let that influence me in the previous cycle. And guess what? Now learning from those mistakes and those lessons and being now in this cycle, it won't happen. It ain't happening. And I know it's not going to happen to you guys. And just like Bitcoin Magazine said, look, everything is fine. Just zoom out. Everything is fine. Just zoom out. Now, if you guys aren't following me on x.com, make sure you are following me on x.com. And it's at DanoCrypto904. We're getting close to 2,000 people watching this profile and following me. So it's really cool. I appreciate you guys very, very much. And we shout out to Frankie Candles. This video popped up and we had to repost it. Wanted to show you guys that Frankie Candles is indeed a real person.
I'm real. He's real.
Yeah, Frankie Candles is awesome. He's a good dude. Watch his channel. Subscribe to his channel, Frankie Candles. So what do you got to say to the Bitcoiners, to the people of crypto?
It's going to go back up. It's going to go back. That's actually, I think it's pumping today.
Yeah,
that's actually, I think today's the longest amount of time that I didn't look at the chart. But I think it's going up. And I think this is, everyone always says that there's a conference pump. This is my fourth conference. This is the only one that is pumped.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get that from.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I think historically the price doesn't really do anything.
It goes sideways.
Yeah, it goes sideways or dumps or something, and because people are speculating that, oh, it's going to go up because of the conference, and doesn't really do that.
100% agree.
Yeah, bing bong.
Bing bong.
Shout out to Frankie Candles. If you guys haven't been watching his channel or watching his TA, it's straight to the point, right into the charts, and he gives you the levels if you want to go long or short, and he just gives it to you straight. So shout out to Frankie Candles. All right, and this is I loved this tweet from Ponky. The largest exchanges in the world crave normie attention, not crypto Twitter narratives, and Ponky has mastered the memes of production, 100%. And then Ponky said, a frog, some dogs, and Ponky walk into a bar. And that's kind of, this is literally like this tweet right here sums up my portfolio and thesis for what I think is probably going to outperform the market and just everything. is this right here, this tweet. A frog, some dogs, and Ponky walk into a bar. And that's literally my portfolio. I don't know about you guys, but is that a very similar tweet that you could say is a representation of your portfolio? Put a 1 in the chat if that's your thesis here. All right, and since the SEC is going after NFTs, I want to remind you guys that I do have an NFT collection, and you can speculate and have Gary Gensler send you a personal letter to your house to tell you that you're committing a heinous crime for holding these Bitcoin ordinal eyes, and it'll make you feel so cool that you're going against the system by holding these beautiful NFTs. So just make sure you guys are checking out this collection, and if you want to orange pill people directly, this is how you can do so, and it helps support the channel. And this is a reminder from Alex Becker. Shout out to Alex Becker. If you're selling right now, know you are selling to your future lords. We will look back at this and laugh together as you serve us holders ham and cheese in a monkey butler outfit. Then you will dance for us for 0.0001 Solana. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but it could be the future. All right, so I want you guys to remember that Dogecoin is the metric of when retail is going to come back into the market. We showed you this trend chart, and it's a really interesting chart to follow because Dogecoin and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin are the 3 most searched terms in crypto engagement across the internet. Okay? So when people type in crypto, they're either searching crypto, Bitcoin, or Dogecoin. I swear to God. And so this is how you can see where we're coming up to bear cycles, bull cycles, where retail is starting to get more interested in crypto, and they end up buying a little bit. And so look at this. So when we've had the search trends on Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Bitcoin ended up skyrocketing in January of search terms, and guess what was happening then? Okay, 2021 is exactly when we started to see Tesla buy Bitcoin. They announced that they were making a massive purchase on Bitcoin. I remember making a video on my non-crypto channel. I didn't even have a crypto channel. I had my music YouTube, and even me, who was just learning about crypto, I was like, I got to make a video on this. So I made a video, and it was me talking about Elon and Tesla, like announcing that they were buying Bitcoin. And so this is around, I'm pretty sure it's around January. And look at the trend of what happened afterwards of the search for Dogecoin. And then crypto in general. So Dogecoin actually surpassed crypto in trend every single time we've had the trend in Bitcoin going up. The only time that Dogecoin started to actually surpass in the trend was when we had the sell-off into the bear market. And so what I think is going to happen is once we start to see Dogecoin start to surpass the trend, which I want to show the past 12 months, and we're gonna see something really, really interesting happen. Maybe we can even get tighter on this and see, okay, so started to spike up a little bit in the beginning of August. Yeah, so I would follow this, guys. Yeah, just basically put it on the 5-year chart, check this out, and then just look at Dogecoin by itself. It's just crazy. And you guys got to remember when Ethereum and Bitcoin in January, February, March, when we had that run up, Dogecoin went up substantially. I mean, it started to go up almost 25 cents. It almost got up to 25 cents. And so all the other meme coins and the speculative assets started to trend up with that. And it just shows a really interesting pattern that I want you guys to just make sure you are paying attention. Just make sure you're paying attention. Okay, so let's keep going down the list of tweets. I think we have almost all of them covered. Let's see. This is one that I want to remind you guys. We just want to remind you about this chart. This is the BTC with the IWM, the Russell 2000, and the Bitcoin halvings and the election cycle. And we're going to get into the memes. So the last part of the show is us talking about some of the memes, because I know you guys, out of everything, you probably just want to hear about the memes the most. And that's why I think that I really do agree with that observation by Ponky, is that when retail starts to come back in, it's going to be when Bitcoin is over 100,000, and they're not going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to buy the cheaper stuff. It's just market psychology of when someone comes in hasn't been in the markets as long as we have. They're just going to go boop. They're going to go, what's the cheapest thing? What is the most popular thing? What is the thing that looks shinier and is also just cheaper? I think we've all done that. But this right here is going to show you exactly what I think is going to happen coming up into the election, or just 6 months. Give it 6 months. 6-7 months from now. Count September, October, November, December, January, February. February is going to be like, woo. January, February, and March next year is going to be insane. Because look at what has happened traditionally after each halving. We're going to get in the banana zone. But look at what's so interesting here is that it waits until the election. People get confirmation on the election, and this has been the past 3 elections. The one in 2012, the one in 2016, and the one in 2020. People don't start to get market confidence, until they know who the hell the United States president is. It makes so much sense now. Especially these past elections. Okay, we don't know what the heck is going to happen. Okay, now we do. Let's go. And then the market goes. So this is what we're waiting on. All right, so this is the news with the Telegram CEO, Paulo Durov. Let me make sure I have the right. Okay, let's. Where is it? There we go. Okay. All right, last month I got interviewed by police for 4 days after arriving in Paris. I was told I may be personally responsible for other people's illegal use of Telegram because the French authorities didn't receive responses from Telegram. This was surprising for several reasons. And we'll read through this really fast, and then we'll get into the last portion of the show, which is the memes, and also then we'll play a really funny video made by Tucker Carlson towards the end, and then we'll call it a day, guys. We're going to end it at a hard stop at 12:30, so make sure you guys are liking the stream. Thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. And if you want to directly support the channel, just make sure you guys are using all the links in the description and the partners of the channel. All the things that are in the description of the channel are things that I trust and that I use every single day and that I have actively used. So I know they work. I know there's no funny business. So that is why I use them, because I've used funky stuff. I've tested out things. I've tested a lot of stuff. So if it is in my description, it works. It's a good service. They have good support, and so make sure you guys are trading on my links, and it's a good crypto starter pack for anyone who is new into crypto and hasn't really pulled the trigger yet, and hopefully I've been able to give you enough information that you feel comfortable even pulling the trigger on getting into crypto and starting to experiment with these ecosystems, because that's the only way. You just have to do it, you know? You can't be the person completely sidelined and waiting for your friend to tell you when to buy. You just gotta get into it. So with that being said, make sure you guys use the QR codes. Make sure let me know if they work. If you want to directly support the channel, and honestly, if you've ever wanted to send like a super chat or anything like that, if you wanted to like donate to the Dano Crypto, conglomerate here, then I would just donate by using that QR code, because if you did it through YouTube's going to take YouTube takes 30%? YouTube takes literally 30% of anything that you earn. Isn't that wild? As much money as YouTube has and Google has, they take a 30% cut. And then you get taxed on it too. So it's like, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty outrageous. It just shows that like you need probably less centralization when it comes to platforms like this, and have it be decentralized in some type of manner, especially when it comes to the algorithm, but also how much they freaking charge you. Craziness. And you could even be a premium member paying for premium, and even like they don't even have any incentive package or like reward thing for you being a premium member. They're just like, yep, pay and we're gonna tax you. I'm like, okay, that's cool, YouTube. That's real sustainable for creators to keep creating on your platform. All right, so Pavel Durov said this was surprising for several reasons. He said Telegram has an official representative in the EU that accepts and replies to EU requests. Its email address has been publicly available for anyone in the EU who Googles Telegram EU address for law enforcement. The French authorities had numerous ways to reach me to request assistance. As a French citizen, I was a frequent guest at the French consulate in Dubai a while ago. When asked, I personally helped them establish a hotline with Telegram to deal with the threat of terrorism in France. And so if a country is unhappy with an internet service, the established practice is to start a legal action against the service itself using laws from the pre-smartphone era to charge the CEO with crimes committed by third parties on the platform he manages is a simplistic approach. Building technology is hard enough as it is. No innovator will ever build new tools if they know they can be personally held responsible for potential abuse of those tools, aka why Satoshi Nakamoto is anonymous. Because 100%, if the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto as a person or said group, they would be put in a box and you'd never see him again. They'd be put in a box and you'd never see him again. You'd never even know they probably even existed. So that is why Satoshi Nakamoto is anonymous, 100%. And so establishing the right balance between privacy and security is not easy. You have to reconcile privacy laws with law enforcement requirements and local laws with EU laws. You have to take into account technological limitations as a platform. You want your process to be consistent globally while also ensuring that you're not abused in countries with weak rule of law. We've been committed to engaging with the regulators to find the right balance. Yes, we stand by our principles. Our experience is shaped by our mission to protect our users in authoritarian regimes, but we've also been open to dialogue. So it's a great response because he's acknowledging that, look, we understand that there is risks and there is a ongoing effort to make sure that they are compliant, that they're working with local law enforcement. If there's ever an issue where they feel like someone that is committing a crime is using their platform, they shouldn't just be like, all right, Pavel, you're going to jail. It's your fault. And then it's just like, no, that's not how you're supposed to handle things. So it's like he's showing that, look, I was compliant. I'm playing along, and I still got fined for however much, like probably a crazy amount of money, had to deal with the headache of this, and then now this is what ensues. So so when Russia demanded we hand over encryption keys to enable surveillance, we refused, and Telegram got banned in Russia. When Iran demanded we block channels of peaceful protests, we refused, and Telegram got banned in Iran. We are prepared to leave markets that aren't compatible with our principles because we are not doing this for money. We are driven by the intention to bring good and defend the basic rights of people, particularly in places where these rights are violated. So all of that does not mean Telegram is perfect. So he's acknowledging that it's not perfect. It is a ongoing effort and to build out good software. And so even the fact that authorities could be confused by where to send requests is something that we should improve. So, but the claims is in the media that Telegram is some sort of anarchic paradise are absolutely untrue. We take down millions of harmful posts and channels every day. We publish daily transparency reports. We have direct hotlines with NGOs to process urgent moderation requests and faster. So it's really interesting. So this is why I think there was such an outrage from the community as a whole of like what the system is doing to try and stifle innovation of free speech and people just being able to have an edge over the system. That's all it is. Normal small people of the 90% of the world is the moment we start to get a grip on what's happening, they start to implement Operation Distract. Operation Distract. Courts, jail. And then that's how they are able to win. It's the only way they can win. It's the only way they are able to win, but we don't want to win. That's what Greg Braden said. They say you don't want to win. If you're winning, that means you're using the same energy to combat what is going against you. Doesn't work. If you know the mechanisms of energy, then that doesn't work. You have to combat it with love, compassion, progression, action into a better world. So then you triumph. You don't win, you triumph over it. So that's a big difference than I'm going to win, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat the system. It's like, no, I've learned now that this is probably not the best way to go because you can't fight hate with hate, can't fight anger against anger or lies against lies or deceit against deceit. No, you have to keep in the light, keep in the truth, keep in the forward progression of motion of being a good person, helping the people around you, and honestly being a voice of truth to help expose the deception that is happening around. So hopefully I'm being a voice in that, and I think that even interesting enough, having a crypto channel is a really good way to help you speak your mind and caveat it into a way that you can hedge yourself against it, because there's not many things you can hedge yourself into to combat the system, because the system is ran by a rigged financial monopoly and Ponzi scheme, the biggest one ever in history. So what the hell else are you going to do? Learn about crypto. Da Vinci learned about crypto. Da Vinci took the plunge 13 years ago. He said, this is it. And he stuck with the conviction, and look how well it played out for him. And so now we're going to caveat that to the last 3 minutes of the show to talk about Da Vinci's tokens that he's actually been promoting, which is ORC and Waffles. And we did have the charts. Where did the charts go? Okay, so we had Ponky up. We talked about Ponky. We told you that Ponky is one of the most underrated, I think, coins on Solana right now. And then we're adding, obviously, ORC and Waffles into that list of the most underrated coins, I think, in the Solana ecosystem right now. We got this nice channel forming. I think, obviously, with the dump of Bitcoin in the entire markets, this is going to give an opportunity for any coin you're trying to speculate into to buy the lows, because you want to be buying when it's in the red. You want to be buying when it's in the red. You don't want to buy when it's up here. You want to buy when it's in the ranges. You want to buy on support, and if you're planning on selling, you're selling at resistance. And so with ORC, if you're new and you haven't listened to me talk about ORC or Waffles, so basically it's simple. There's projects that have roadmaps, and the roadmap could be as simple as we just want to get listed on a big exchange and we want to get to $100 billion or $1 billion market cap. With ORC and Waffles, it was a very simple roadmap. They said, look, we want to get the attention of Da Vinci J15. Once we successfully get his attention, then we are going to implement the rest of the roadmap. So with that, I think it was genius, and they were successful. Both of these projects were able to do so. Waffles is building products. They're building dApps. They're building studios. That's basically almost kind of like you can do a one-stop shop of swapping, getting content made, and also helping your project with airdrops and filtering through to be able to do all kinds of stuff with your with a crypto project if you have one. So ORC is more or less, they're just trying to build out a easy meme ecosystem that it's just purely speculative. It's just on orcs collecting gold. Maybe, just maybe, the roadmap will build out. They end up making some kind of game or something like that. And right now, I think the website is still it's pretty basic. Contract address, tokenomics. ORC is a meme coin inspired by legendary orcs. Orcs like to gather gold, so we like to collect ORC. And so roadmap's pretty basic. But you have to know that everything could go to zero, right? Everything can go to zero. But the thing that I want to point out is the holder count has increased. We were at 8,000 or 9,000 just a couple days ago, and now we're at 10,055. The liquidity keeps increasing. The liquidity was at 250,000 not too long ago, and now it's at 315. And now market cap, don't care. I don't care about the market cap anymore. I'm tired of looking at the market cap. I don't give a crap about market cap anymore. You know what I care about? Holders, trading volume, liquidity. That's the only thing I care about. I do not care about the market cap. I might care about the supply, but then if the supply is basically 95, 96% burned, and there's not that much that can be like crazy manipulated, then that's all I care about. The market cap doesn't even mean anything. If you listen to Richard Hart, he's like, market cap does not mean crap. Oh, yeah, 0.001 BTC. Yeah, so let me go and like type in how much that's worth right now. So if you were to go and and if you want to ever just go and just like you can go and do like a Bitcoin counter, but if you just go to Coin Market Cap, it's got one right here, it's Bitcoin converter, and 53,000, 0.001 Bitcoin is $54. But maybe I meant to say that if you just own 0.01 Bitcoin. I think that's probably what I meant to say, because then that's like, it's like 500, about, $540. You got a little stake in the game, but I'm just curious as to if someone were to just say, all right, I'm just going to put 0.01, buy 0.01 right now, and then hold it for 10 years. that would be it's really interesting to as an experiment, and I'm sure that is going to be the experiment of most people that are, or not most people, but it would be cool to do that, but most people aren't going to do that. They won't do that. They will sell probably all at different points to ever get to that point. So this is why I think it's so important that if we do buy now at the lows, and we're buying now at even like we're just scooping up Bitcoin below 50K, or at these prices right now because we're at 53, then at about $1 million per coin, I mean that's substantial. That is substantial. So yeah, even just having 0.01 Bitcoin today and holding it for the next 10 years, you'd probably I'm so curious as to see what really for real, like if someone was all right, 0.01 Bitcoin right now and then hold it for 10 years. But that's kind of what we're doing, That's what we're doing in the markets right now. We're like, okay, let's get at least one Bitcoin, If we can get one Bitcoin, if you can even get more than one Bitcoin, then man, your averages are just going up. Your ratio of success is just increasing. I kind of almost think about it now as that Bitcoin is the most sought after, I think. If you're really smart, it should be the most sought after asset, and it kind of is with the billionaires. It is with the big money. The people in the regular world don't think about it that way, but right now, big money is thinking about that because of the pivot. 100%. So it's almost like, oh, yeah. I think we got super bullish. I love getting really bullish when the market is bearish. It's the best time. It is the best time to be bullish is when the market is going down. And it's looking like we just wicked right into this level. Funny, though, that we did say this, though. We said, look, if we break out of this trading range and we don't get support, we're going down. And I think this, and like I said on my Twitter, on my X, that I think that any recovery from here is a fake out to get you to go long. It's a fake out to get you to go long. That's what they love doing. They go, oh, okay, yeah, they thought that was the low. Let's get them to go long here. Let's maybe push it up a little bit, make them think they're in profit. And then, bam, they push that sucker right down into 51,000. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. Watch it just try and even recover back up to 54,000, 54,009, and then literally just go boom. Because that's what the market loves doing. They love doing that. The market makers love making you think that was it. That was it. And then push that sucker right down. And yeah, there you go. So in 2014, 0.01 of Bitcoin was $3. So crazy. So crazy. So then you think if I were to had just put $500 into 0.01 of Bitcoin in 2014 and had the conviction to hold it for all of the volatility that ensued. Kind of tough. Kind of tough. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Looks like we had a decent crowd today. And you guys are smashing the likes. You got the likes almost to 20 likes. If we can get the live stream to 20 likes before we end, that would be absolutely amazing. And pretty soon here, I think we're gonna do like an actual cryptocurrency giveaway, to where if we can get, I don't know what exactly we're gonna do for the giveaway or what crypto we'll give away. Maybe we'll give away some XYO or something. Maybe we'll do like a PayPay. Like a PayPay giveaway. We'll give away like all the coins that we talk about. Maybe we'll start to actually do some crypto giveaways. That would be cool. So then if you don't actually have PayPay or Pepe, you can enter the contest and you can actually win some. Be like, $50 a Pepe or something, $25 a Ponky. I think that'd be fun. That would be fun. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's do real quick before we go. We'll do a quick look at the altcoins. We'll see what's happening on the daily, so we can see, and maybe you guys can go on a rabbit hole of what you think could be a real good hold for the altcoin season. And hey, crypto bubbles right now is saying that Jasmy on the daily's looking good, Optimism's looking good, Helium is looking good, HNT, Notcoin, Dogs, Toncoin, Sui, Sats, Frax. Looking at the weekly, similar, but you got Uni up in there, Stark Network. On the monthly, Helium seems to be doing really well. Phantom. Got a lot of bullish things happening with Phantom and Polygon. That's also something that we're going to make some separate videos on, because we like those ecosystems and we want you guys to be informed on what's happening. Phantom is rebranding to Sonic, and then and Matic has now transitioned into the Pol token, which has migrated and switched and converted the contract from Matic to Pol. It's done. If you look in your MetaMask and you have it, it's already done. So we're going to go into this and we're going to do some more research on that and make sure we all know what's happening with these ecosystems that we like to transact in. But all right, with that being said, guys, thank you again for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys. And so Scuba, did you announce the winner of the last giveaway? We didn't have enough signups. So basically for that particular giveaway, the market was just guys, I'm gonna be honest. Like literally across all channels and across crypto content in general, it took a plunge after March. Basically after March, and we had this downtrend. Like people just gave up. So we did not get enough signups, but I would love to give away a treasure. I would love to give away a treasure, but we got to get more signups. So we got to get more signups. But all right, guys, really do appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you. We'll see you tomorrow. We're not going to be live streaming tonight, and if we do, it's probably going to be really late. It'll probably be like 10:30 or something like that. But yeah, we will see you guys either late tonight, or we will see you back on Monday. So peace out, guys. God bless. See you on the next one.